Hey everyone, I'm Richard, CEO and founder of altFINS. In this trading video, I will show you how to stay on top of some likely breakout candidates and catch those breakouts early using our tools, specifically the trade setup tools in our technical analysis section. You can find that section here under the technical analysis in the menu. Now, these are trade setups that we discuss in our VIP channel with our members. There are other trade setups that we discuss here, and other traders also share their ideas. But in this tool now, what I recommend, obviously, if you see an asset or a coin that has a near-term outlook of bullish and a pattern stage of breakout like Avalanche, that's a clear signal that that's an ongoing breakout. It's happened. We can take a look at what happened with AVAX, right? And we discussed, or a quick description of the trade setup is here available to you. You can also look at the live chart as well. But here's the trade setup, right? We noticed that it was trading in an ascending triangle. It broke out of it with increasing volume here, and it's been rising since then. So, you know, it's up, call it 15-20% since the breakout. Now, you know, we still think that there is potential upside all the way to 36, but you're obviously wondering, well, you know, I wish I had caught it right here when it broke above the $31 resistance level, right? And how do I do that? Well, let's take a look at another one here that had a breakout. Bitcoin Cash, also a bullish breakout, break above the resistance area. Notice this is about $625 is kind of the area where it got rejected way back in December of last year. And then it got rejected 1, 2, 3, 4 times this year in that resistance zone, and now it's broken above that. So clearly the buyers have absorbed the supply from sellers and cleared the path to the next resistance area, which is $700. So it's about a 10% potential upside from here, right? Again, how do I catch that? You know, let's take a look at another one. Solana is another ascending triangle breakout. I love ascending triangles because those clearly indicate that there is growing demand with every pullback. The pullback is getting shallower and shallower until that triangle resistance is broken, right? And that's kind of what we noted here. It was tested here, but basically, once it broke above 210 or so, you know, it's been rising since then. So we're talking about, you know, also a 15% or so potential upside. We think, or I think, that'll go not only to 275, but really about $300, which is what the peak was, 52-week high, and actually all-time high in early 2025 in January, right? I think there's a lot of fundamental reasons why Solana should go higher, including a lot of digital asset treasury companies that have launched and are buying Solana aggressively. Just today there was news there was another $4 billion raise by a treasury company that's looking to continue to accumulate Solana tokens. So that's creating that upward pressure on price. And there's also a number of ETFs, spot ETFs, electronically traded funds, that are getting ready to launch later this year, probably in October, but certainly by end of the year, it seems like. So that's Solana. So how do I get ahead of that, how do I stay on top of it on these breakouts? Well, a lot of our users, I think, dismiss some of the neutral rated trade setups. This neutral rating is changed to a bullish rating once the breakout happens. So an example is Filecoin. It's neutral rated. It's trading in a descending triangle, as you can see. Okay. Now, once it breaks out of that triangle and above a certain resistance level, it's we're gonna react to that and turn this to a bullish. But that may mean that you're gonna miss the perfect entry level. Okay, so let's take a look at Filecoin. So it's actually broken out of the descending triangle, but there's another resistance here, a resistance zone of $2.50, and where the 200-day moving average, the 200-day moving average always acts as a resistance area or support if the price is coming from above. But if the price is approaching the 200-day moving average from below, then it's a resistance. As you can see, price is struggling here for now. It's battling that area of 250, 260. But if it does break above that, it's going to fly, probably revisit the $3 resistance, right? So it could be a solid 17% gain if and when that happens. So, how do I stay on top of that? It's very simple. I create an alert right here. I can say, alert me when the price breaks about 260, was it I think the 200-day moving average is at, let's take a look, 261. So yeah, so I want to be alerted when price breaks above that, and I can in fact place a note here, says breakout above resistance, price target $3. Stop loss, we have that here as well, I believe. Well, we don't discuss it here, but we would note that once the breakout happens. But where do I place my stop loss? Well, my stop loss would be below the prior swing low. So right here, the low was 237. I would probably place the stop loss at 235. Okay, so now once I get that alert, I'll know what that means, what's my price target, what's my stop loss, and I can place my trade. Another one that I wanted to look at is Polkadot, also neutral rated, approaching resistance, still emerging, has not broken out. Let's take a look. So Polkadot, right, it's broken out of the triangle and above the 200-day moving average, which is an indication of a bullish trend reversal, meaning that the price has likely entered uptrend again. Anytime the price breaks above the 200-day moving average, it's a very good sign. And in fact, as you can see, it broke above that, pulled back and tested that breakout level again. So far successfully, it bounced off of the 200-day moving average. That's a very bullish price action. And now I'm waiting for price to break above the resistance of 450, where it got rejected back here. It got rejected, kind of like rejected in April as well. So once it does break above that, we're probably going to revisit 520. So that would be about a, again, 15% or so potential gain. So I'm going to set up an alert to let me know. I'm going to make it, let's see, if we look at the live price action here, right? The price got as high as 462 here, 467 here. So I'd say once it breaks about 460, to me, that's a breakout. And what I also like about the setup is again, that retest of the break above the 200-day moving average and the triangle. That was a successful retest. Pulled back a little bit. Now it's, again, the buyers are aggressively buying it back up. It's more than likely going to break above that level and continue to 520. So let's go ahead and place an alert that says, alert me when the price breaks about 460. Again, breakout above 460 resistance, price target 520. The stop loss, where should I put the stop loss at? Again, below the prior swing low, which in this case, I believe actually we have it. Yeah, we don't have it in the text here, but in this case, you know, I would normally place it below this prior swing low. Let's pull a little more history here. Okay. Right, the price swing low was about 410, but that would be really close to my support area here of $4 and the 200-day moving average. So I'll probably do 390 as my stop loss. 390. Okay, set that alert as well. I believe there was a few others I wanted to show you. One is, again, another one is Injective. It's bullish. It's trading in an ascending triangle. Love ascending triangles. Let's take a look. All right. This ascending triangle has been building all the way since April. Wow. And every time it got to that $15, $15.50 here, it got rejected here, here, right? Multiple times. There's sellers around that level for whatever reason. But every time it dipped, you know, it's kind of, the dip is getting shallower and shallower. So the buying pressure is building up. It's trading above the 200-day moving average. So it is already technically in an uptrend. And I'm just waiting for that resistance to fall. It's like a wall around the city, you know, just keep knocking at it, keep knocking at it. Eventually it's broken and the dam will, once the dam breaks, the water just comes out in a rush. So I'm gonna wait for price to break about 1550, maybe to be conservative. Maybe let's take a look. This is probably 1560 here. This swing here. The high was 1650. Yeah, so let's say 1650 is my key level. Or maybe let's just say, yeah, $16. And I'll make an assessment when it does break, but I'd rather be a bit early than too late in this case. So break above 1550, $16 resistance zone. Price target would be $20 from there. So that's, you know, potentially 20% potential upside. And let's see the stop loss here. Stop loss would be somewhere below the resistance area, because here the stop loss, yeah, it could be below the prior swing low. So that was 1325, so 1320 would be my stop loss. If it dips below that, then that's a bust. That's a bad or, you know, unsuccessful trade. I wouldn't call it a bad trade, because I think it's a well thought out trade idea, right? It's in an uptrend. I'm buying it in an uptrend, so I'm trading with the trend. Trend is my friend. I'm buying it when it breaks out of a ascending triangle, which is a bullish pattern, typically a continuation pattern. So I think it's a good trade setup, but for whatever reason, it could fail. So that's Injective, and I want to do a couple more stacks. Also neutral rated falling wedge pattern. Let's take a look. Right, yeah, very key level. In fact, it's broken out of the falling wedge pattern already, but as you can see, it's being held back by the stiff resistance area of the 200-day moving average, which is the purple line here. Look how it's got rejected exactly there. And it's approaching that level again. And that 200-day moving average also more or less lines up with the resistance at 75 cents. So it's a clear level where I want to be notified when price finally breaks above the 75 cents. then that would be a bullish breakout from the falling wedge, and also a signal that uptrend has resumed, and it's likely then to revisit the dollar resistance next, and that would be solid from 75 cents to $1. That would be like 25% potential gain. So that's a juicy trade, and I want to be on top of it. So I'm going to set up an alert. Alert me when price breaks above 75, right? Bullish breakout from ascending triangle above, well, let's just leave that. Oh yeah, above 200 average, and price target is $1. And I would probably have to determine the stop loss at the time. It depends if it breaks it now or later, but if it broke above out of that triangle now, then I would place the stop loss just below the prior swing low. Prior swing low was 63 cents and change, so I would say 62 cents would be my stop loss. All right, so set that alert. And last one I wanted to cover was DOGE. Let's see, DOGE is on the next page, perhaps, right here. Also neutral rated, approaching resistance. Let's take a look at it. All right, so it's broken out of the triangle, as you can see here. It's above the 200-day moving average. It's in an uptrend. And we can see that here as well. Short-term, medium, long-term trends are all strong up, right? And it's already broken above the 25-cent resistance. That's where it's gotten rejected. Same place it got rejected back in July, right? So it's pulled back. Now it's revisiting that 30-cent key level. So once it does break above that, I think it could shoot up to 40 cents next. It's actually a good looking chart, right? Got rejected at 25 cents, pulled back, got rejected at 30 cents, pulled back. Now it's attacking 30 cents again. Nice increased volume here. It looks good. It looks good. So here again, I'm going to set the alert for 30 cents. Very simple. Say last price is above 30 cents. Break above 30 cents resistance. Price target is 40 cents. And my stop loss would be at, what's the prior swing low, right? That would have been 25.8, so about 25 cents. Actually, that would be really close to that prior key level. I would put it lower than that. You can see 25 cents is the prior resistance. Once that is broken and becomes support, so really now that resistance is now support. That's called polarity. Once a resistance is broken, that becomes support. And if support is broken, that becomes resistance. So I don't want to close this trade if it comes back to 25 cents. Really, you would have to break below that. So I'm going to put stop loss at 24 cents. Excellent. So there I am. I'm going to have alerts coming in the alerts section here. I have some others already here, but on the alerts management, you can see all of these here. By the way, if you want to, the standard alert delivery is on the platform here under the alert notifications. And also you can receive mobile app. If you download the altFINS mobile app, you will receive alerts on it as well. And you can also receive alerts via the email. So you can set up the alert delivery channels with this settings right here. All right, well, I hope this has been helpful. Leverage the technical analysis trade setups. I think an easy way to get started in trading cryptos, because it's all there for you. We've already done the technical analysis for you. It covers the top 50 or so altcoins by market cap, and it's a good way to learn, and it's a really time efficient way to get started. Thanks for your time. Keep in mind that this video was for informational purposes only, not meant to be financial advice, and do your own research. Good luck trading.